Hey everybody, it is July 6th, Sunday, July 6th. This is in the evening here in Maryland, and I've recovered from the 3 services today, and it is right at dusk. It's nice out here right now, so I thought I'd just come do a little walkthrough and kind of show you. Now listen, on this tour, don't pay any attention to the fact that I need to do some weed whacking and grass cutting. It's been too daggone hot. These are plants that I started from cuttings this year, all over here in this corner. Got a couple Brooklyn Whites, Celeste, a couple of my Renata Unknowns there, a couple White Madeiras there, number ones, a couple Chincoteague Celeste down in there. My Stellas, I have 2 Stellas, one here and one on the front of the deck over there. Neither one has put figs on yet. Stella's a larger fig, but it's supposed to be exquisite in flavor. So that's why I got it. So I want to try it and see, but don't have any figs yet. This is Coeur d'Ebout. Got this from Bill at Off the Beaten Path. I've never had one of these figs. This will be first for me this year. It's got several on here that I keep watching to see when they'll start swelling to ripen. And I think it's got 4 or 5 on there. So hopefully we'll get to try that this year. My Black Madeira, I don't know, we'll see, but I don't know if I'll get any figs off that this year. Even though it's got figs on, they just take so long. They take so long to fully ripen. We'll have to see. I mean, I might get some. I got 2 Florias back here who are just loaded with figs on these Floria. 2 of them side by side here. Tons of figs. Again, I've never had that, so that'll be a new one for me. Unfortunately, my Figo Preto, one died, and that's my other one. It's just not coming back with much fever, so I don't know. It's not gonna do much this year at all. And that was one of the best figs I ate last year was Figo Preto. I got a Texas Strawberry. This one here, man, this is my Del San Juan Migrant. This is a good fig. If you've never had a Del San Juan Migrant fig, when they are ripe, I mean when they're really ripe, man, these are a really, really good fig. They'll get much larger, even though those figs look large. They'll swell up quite a bit more when they go to ripen. You see here we got some sunburn and going on the leaves. It's been hot, so yeah, it's hard to keep up with it. Back here is my Cadota and 2nd year tree, and I don't see any figs on it still as of yet. This is my Albacore de Mola Blanca, and this tree doesn't have any figs. I've got a second one over there. It's got figs on. This is my Texas BA, which is supposed to be very much like a Smith, which this is a Smith right next to it with plenty of figs, which is awesome because Smith are great figs. Definitely in my top 3 or 4 last year. This back here is Paradiso Bronze. Got some figs on. Also a very good fig. Next to it is Sister Madeline Green Greek, and it's got some figs on. That's a late season fig, so there'll be a while for those to. Next to it is Caude de Dame Blanc. It's got some on. They're good. Probably one of the thickest figs as far as texture that I grow. This is another Black Madeira right here. This one over here is a Black Madeira KK. That one there is just Black Madeira. This here is Blanc de Deux Saisons. I thought I had one in the ground over there until it started producing fruit, and they were not green. They were darker in color. Come find out, it had been mislabeled, and it was a Madeleine de Deux Saisons. The Blanc de Deux Saisons is supposed to be green, a green fig with a red interior. So we'll see when we get those. This here is Green Nazareth. I've got 2 of them. They're both looking very good, but no figs on yet. Green Nazareth I also got from Bill at Off the Beaten Path. This one here is a Coral Black, and supposed to be a mid-season fig. I've never had one, so I'm excited to try that this year. I've got 2 of them, one there and one down over there. This is my Violet de Bordeaux in a growing bag. It's got some figs on it. This one here is my Italian 258. I got 3 of them. I got this one here and this one here. Both of them look great, except no figs. So, but this is a long-term thing for me for Italian 258, even though I've never had an Italian 258 fig. I hear that they are phenomenal. So this is a investment of time. So I'm not pinching them. I'm letting them go. And hopefully, if I don't get any this year, hopefully we'll get some next year. It looks beautiful, just no figs on it. Back here, I've got a Hog Island that I started with a couple of figs on it. This taller one here is a Capri fig. Capri figs are male figs that, and I don't see any figs on this one or the other one yet. Capri fig is what I would use to get pollen, to pollinate the figs, which is going to be an experiment we're going to do if and when I finally get some figs. Here's my other one over here, my other Capri fig. And I don't see any figs on it either. But it puts off male. It's the only male fig trees I have. The rest are females. This is my other green Nazareth here. Got a Chincoteague Celeste there. Desert King. Marseille Black VS in the orange bucket. There's my other Albacore de Mola Blanca. I've never had one of those, but it's got a couple figs. Hopefully I'll get to try that this year. Next to it is Secret, putting on some figs. Texas Everbearing has got 1 or 2 figs on. That's a Peter's Honey there. But look at my Petite Negra. Look at the figs on this plant. Is that crazy or what? Look at them. I mean, it is putting them on thick as I don't know what. Figs everywhere. It is a dwarf fig tree. This one here, this Petite Negra, is a dwarf fig tree. I'll probably end up planting that just because it's doing that. Look at that. That's amazing. Of course, I got some tomato plants here. Over here, this is my LSU Scots Black. It's put on a couple figs. I've never had those either. So I'll get to try that this year. Next to it is my Cherry Cordial. It's got a lot of figs. Never had one of these either, so I'll get to try that this year, I hope. This is my other Socorro Black with some nice looking figs on it. Over here is my red Lebanese Becca Valley. Lots of figs, lots and lots of figs. This here is Sunrise. Now, the name of the church that I started 23 years ago and now still pastor is Sunrise Church, but it's S-O-N-R-I-S-E. This one is S-U-N-R-I-S-E. But when I heard the name Sunrise, I thought I got to get one of them. And then I bought it. This was back when I didn't know what I was doing. And then I bought it and found out that some believe it is, or some say it is a San Pedro fig. So there are Smyrna and San Pedro figs. Both of those, they have to be pollinated, and you need the fig wasp to do it. They won't give you main crop. Well, so is the Desert King. Desert King over there, and I got one in the ground back there behind the tree. It's a San Pedro fig or Smyrna, and you'll get Brebas maybe, but you won't get any main crop figs to ripen on that tree without pollinating them. And so anyway, I'm still watching this. Some have argued that Sunrise is not a San Pedro, but rather a common fig. But I've had this a couple years and I have not gotten the right fig on it. So I'm tending to be with those in the school of thought it is a San Pedro. But, you know, we'll see. This here is my Violet Sapor. And it's looking good. Got some figs on. Next to it is my other Stella. Still, again, no figs on Stella. Hoping that it'll start putting some on. This here is my LSU Tiger. I just got this trading with my buddy this year. And it has some figs, got a little fig that's starting in here. You can see, so I might try that this year. Next to it is the Pellegrino, a large oblong fig. It's supposed to be really good tasting. Got a few in there that we'll hopefully get to try this year. Never had one of those. My other Del San Juan Migrand. And again, look at how many figs this tree is putting on. Now, Anybody tell you if they grow Del San Juan, it's a fickle fig. It's not very easy to get a really good ripened fig. But it looks like I got a lot of chances this year between the two trees, so hoping that I'll get a couple really perfectly ripe ones, and I'll do videos on them. I did have 2 of them last year that were ripened just right, and I'm going to tell you, they were spectacular. Really, really good figs to eat. And this here is my Negra de Agde, the cherry Twizzler fig, they call it. It's supposed to have a taste of like a cherry Twizzler, a licorice stick. Pretty good, but you see, really prolific. Look at the figs on this tree as well, just loaded up. My one in the ground, I have one in the ground too, over there right in front of the shed. That one right there, it's got figs all over it as well. I did these air layers. When I did the air layer on the 2 bigger trees, I did 3 on each of those. I've already taken off the 3 Celeste and 2 off my Brooklyn White and potted them up. But these didn't show any roots, these balls, these rooting balls that you put on. I think because I didn't cover them in foil, and I think the sun was just baking them, and so I've covered them with foil, see if I can get them to root. This is my car, lots of figs. It's a late season fig, so I don't expect these guys to do much too soon. Keep checking because I'm not sure what a Breba and what aren't. This here's my La Magdalene. Again, I got this one from Bill, never heard of it, but he said give it a try. It has got figs all over it, so hopefully I'll get to try that this year. This is the one that's got the heart-shaped fig back here. I thought it was pretty cool. Right there, heart-shaped. So I'm keeping an eye on that. This is my white Marseilles. Never had one of these either, but I've got some figs on in this year. So hopefully we'll get to try that. It's supposed to be I believe a honey fig. Over here is my raspberry latte. Again, figs all over it. Hopefully some of those will ripen at some point, and we'll get to try it. It's supposed to be a mid-sized fig, so they got some swelling to do. My LSU purple, I've talked about this. It's really thick, look how thick it is in there. But it's got some figs on, so hopefully we're going to actually get to try some good ripened LSU purple figs this year. This is my Teramo. Got figs on in there. All right, and then my in-ground Smith, still no figs. Ronde Bordeaux has a couple figs. I did a video not long ago on these. That's my Italian 258 I put in the ground. Madeleine de Douce, White Madeira #1, Peter's Honey. All of those have figs on, except for the Italian 258. Ravin de Caus, figs all over it. Of course, everybody knows Brooklyn White, big green. Figs all over that. Both Celeste are loaded with figs. This is my Olympian, died down to the ground, started growing back, and now it's starting to put on figs. Olympian's a very good tasting fig. Some say it tastes like peaches dipped in honey. I don't know if I got that on mine. Of course, it was a very immature tree, but it was a good tasting fig nonetheless. But it started, when it started putting them on, it's putting them on now. There's pretty much a fig lit at every node. This is my Chicago Hardy, growing like crazy, and lots of figs on. But we'll see when they start getting ripened as well. Looks like I got several hundred figs on that tree. Colonel Lippmann's Black Cross, I may never get a fig off that. It's a very hard to get figs on. I'm not even sure it's going to do well on the ground. We'll see what it does this winter. But it's one of those figs that you really need time before it even starts producing figs. And so we'll see. That's another Peter's Honey that died to the ground. This is G. Neary. Never gotten a fig off this either. It's the 3rd season in ground, but it died back this last winter all the way to the ground. This is all new growth. This here is my Robert's Golden Rainbow. Planted a much bigger tree, but it never sprouted or grew, and this is all from the roots up. So, but I'm excited that it made it. Azores Dark. This is the one that I'm watching, waiting for them to start swelling. I would expect this would start ripening figs pretty soon. It's an earlier fig, but it hasn't done so yet. So my Azores Dark got figs all over it. This is my Renata Unknown, and still have yet to see any figlets on it. It's not put on any figs, but I'm just letting it grow. As I said, that's the Negro de Agde. Got figs in there. This is my Hog Island. If you know anything about Hog Island, there's the Grover Cleveland fig variety from Hog Island. And then this one, this is called the Higbee variety. And it's got lots of figs on it. Died back. I'd say about 50% of it died back over the winter, but it's got some figs on. This is a good fig. It's different than a lot of other figs in that at the end of it, when you're eating it, at the back end of the flavor, it has almost like a tangerine flavor. It's pretty unique, pretty good. This is my Sweet Diana. Made out good through the winter actually, and is growing pretty good. A little slow to start putting on figs, but it has put on a few now. So we got some on. Celeste is always the boss. Celeste and Brooklyn White are my two faithfuls every year. Look at the number of figs in there, and that's on every single branch. When you move the leaves around, it's just, I mean, last year between this tree and that tree, over 5,000 figs I picked. And I made a lot of fig jam out of them. This is my in-ground Violet de Bordeaux. And then last is my Desert King over there, looking pretty rough. And I'm not sure if that's where I've got it planted in the yard. It's not that great or pretty dry or what, but certainly not thriving. There you go. There is the Grand Tour. Oh, and I got one other tree. I always forget this one. All the way in the front yard. That's why I forget it. It is a English brown turkey. A little larger fig when it's producing. It's the one way out there. I got that from my parents' house. It's a fig they always grew. Very large figs. It's not super prolific or super vigorous. It's a pretty slow grower, and it doesn't get anywhere near like that. It's a much smaller tree, but it will put on some monster figs. So hopefully one day we'll be able to do some videos on that. All right, I know this was a long one. 17 minutes. All right, there's your tour of Big D's Fig Farm. That's all of them, y'all.